Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. First of all, apologies for the lighting. It's so grey outside today, there's like no natural light. So I'm having to film with the big light on, so it's not the best, but hopefully it'll just do with this video. So today we are going to be choosing my February TBR. I'm still definitely going to be using the TBR jar a lot this year. We've got some new prompts in there that I'm really excited about. But today I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I've seen a few people do like colour chooses TBR over the last couple of years. I know Ellen Catherine uploaded one the other day where she used like a colour wheel, but I've seen people do it with like these colour palettes. So this is what I'm going to do today. I can't remember exactly who it was I saw do it this way. I've seen like Sims creators use this to make like the colour palette for a Sims build. I'm sure people have probably done it with books before as well. So I thought that could be a fun way to choose the TBR. It kind of takes a lot of my choice out of it because I just have to choose the book that most closely aligns with the colour palette. Let's generate our first colour palette. Okay, interesting. So it's like black, purples and bits of browns. Let's have a look. I'm going to go have a look through the cart, pick some books out that I think kind of match the vibe, and then we'll go through the options and compare them. I picked out a few options. So the first book I picked out was Guild, but I don't think it's close enough because Guild is obviously quite gold, like there's a lot of gold on there. It has the black, but it doesn't really have any of the other colours, so I feel like that's probably not the right vibe. Then I picked out this, but I think this is too red and too orange. It does kind of have like the brown, but other than that, I don't think it really matches the vibe. And then I picked out this, but again, these hollow vowels, I think it's just too like red and orange. There is a little bit of like the purple in there and there is the black, but I just don't think it's that good of a match. And then I picked out the favourite styles, but this is just brown. It has the brown and the writing is kind of purpley, but it doesn't have any of the other colours. Like these just aren't matching to me. So the two that it has come down to, and I think there's one of these books that I actually want to read, and there's one that is a clear winner, unfortunately for me. The one I want to read is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. Obviously you have to ignore that the writing is bright pink, but if you look at the background of this, it is very much like browns and blacks. But I think the bright pink writing knocks this one out of the running. I mean, it's about time. It is about time. But like, I don't think we could get much more of a perfect match than that. Again, it looks a lot more of a close match in person. Obviously we've got like the purples in the sky, there's a bit of black in the sky, we've got the browns in the terrain at the bottom. So I think the first book on our February TBR is going to have to be The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've read The Hobbit and I've read the first Lord of the Rings book. Wasn't obsessed, but I did read them at a time where I hadn't really read much fantasy at all. So maybe now that I've read a lot more fantasy, I'll be able to digest this a little bit better. But we will see. So that is our first book on the February TBR. Let's generate our next colour palette. Okay, very different, very bright. Okay, again, I'm going to go pick out some books and then I will come back with some options. Okay, we've got 3 books this time and I think they all actually have potential. So the first one is Dear John, who's this by? Nicholas Sparks. If you have a look, it's not even focusing on the phone because the colours are so bright. Is it going to focus? No, we're just going to have to rely on the screen recording because it's just not showing up. But comparing these in person, we've got like the green, the yellow in the grass and in the writing. Obviously we've got a lot of white on this cover, like the sky and again the writing. His clothing is dark, like the colour at the top. I feel like this is a pretty, is it gonna, no, it's just not gonna work. I feel like this is a pretty decent match. Then I chose Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Again, we've got like the yellow, we've also got a bit of that peachy colour. Again, his jumper is the dark colour and there's obviously a lot of white on here as well. And then Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. We've got like the peachy colour in the background, the darker like bluey purpley colour in the waves, and then a lot of just like white down at the bottom. So I feel like these are all, to be fair, pretty good options. I'm just laying them out on the floor in front of me and comparing them. I feel like we'll pop Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow to one side, even though I do really want to read this month. I feel like because of the rainbow writing, this might be useful to keep if we get like a difficult colour palette, because this has got quite a lot of colours on. So we'll pop that one to one side. We'll put it back on the cart for now. So we're choosing between Dear John and Out on a Limb. Which one matches? I feel like Out on a Limb does match better because it's got more of the colours. So we're going to go with Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I have been very, very excited to read this one, to be fair, so I am quite pleased by this. So yeah, if you don't know, this is an accidental pregnancy romance book, which is different for me, but everyone loves it. So very excited to read this one. And again, let's do our next colour palette. The screen recording keeps stopping, so sorry if the screen recording section of this is a bit choppy, but hopefully you get to see all the colour palettes. I'll hold my phone up just in case the screen recording doesn't work. Okay, Fun. I feel like this is going to give us quite a lot of options. Again, it's a lot brighter on the camera than it, there we go. So we've got like blues, purples, pinks. I think we could get some cute romance books. Okay, that actually brought up less options than I thought it would. I did pick out like a few of these romance books here, but they were all like mainly one colour. Like The Fake Mate is just mainly purple, Nothing Like the Movies is purple, Not in Love is mainly pink with a bit of blue. Like none of them matched the overall vibe. As much as I want to read all of those books, they just didn't match the vibe. So what did match the vibe was Last Seen Online. Who's this by? By Lauren James. This is like a YA mystery thriller-esque kind of book. Basically it's about a teenage girl who is digging a bit deeper into this online fandom that she's come across, and she's finding out secrets that suggest that things aren't necessarily as they seem. So very different for me, but very excited. It sounds really good. I've always been a very online kind of person, so I feel like this will be very interesting to read. So that is book number 3. I don't actually know how many I'm going to choose. I'm thinking we might do 6, because I do still have a few books from my January TBR that I do want to get to in February, like the beginning of February. So we'll do 6 this month. Okay, number 4. Okay, cute. That's quite... Oh my God. Is it going to focus? Just in case the screen recording isn't working. That's quite cute. I feel like Out on a Limb would have probably been quite perfect for that one. I feel like that really does match the colour scheme of Out on a Limb, but I'll have a quick look through and see what I've got. Okay, again, I've picked out 3 options and they're all quite different depending on which route we're going to go down. So I've picked Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow out again because of the colour at the top, like the peachy colour is obviously like the main background colour of this, and then this does have some greens on it. I feel like we could get away with that. See what I mean? Like the colour at the top is a pretty perfect match. And then I went completely the other way and chose Small Pleasures by Claire Chambers because of these 2 more greeny bluey colours. They're like the same colour. And then Dear John again, just because this has got like a lot of the lighter greens and stuff in there. So again, I'm going to lay them all out on my floor and just put my phone next to them and see which one I think matches the best. I think I'm going to go Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, just because I actually want to read it. So that is book number 4 for our February TBR. And let's generate the colour palette for number 5. Okay, Fun. We've got some more bright colours again, some pinks, like a darker plummy kind of colour. Okay, we've got quite a few options for this one that are again quite different. There we go. So going down the pink theme, I picked out Love Unwritten just because it has a couple of different colour pinks in. I just want to read this, but I don't think it's really matching. And then I chose Unravel Me, which I think is actually quite a fair match. Like, it's got quite a lot of the colours in. However, this is the 3rd book in the series. The 2nd book is on my January TBR, but I haven't read it yet. So it would basically mean me reading the 2nd and the 3rd ones in February. And I kind of love this series so much that I'm not sure I want them so close together, but I think it has to be an option because it really does match. And then I went with just a couple of really bright pink ones. So the Heart Principle, but I don't think it kind of matches the 2nd one down, but I'm also not 100% convinced. So I think we'll pop that one to one side. Then I chose You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, again just based on that 2nd pink, and the spine does have quite a lot of colours on, so I feel like we could get away with that one. And then I went a little bit rogue and I chose Crazy Rich Asians, but bear with me because it has like it's slightly darker turquoise colour than the one on here. Again, it's not focusing properly. That colour green is darker than it looks on screen, but it has that kind of green. It has the pink in her dress. Again, it has quite a few different colours. So yet again, let's put them all out on my floor and I'm just going to hold the colour palette in the middle and see which one I think matches the best. I actually think it is Crazy Rich Asians because it's the only one that has like that green colour in and the pinks. The other two are just pink. So we're going to go with Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan, I believe. Yeah, Kevin Kwan. Okay, we've got one colour palette left to choose. Let me restart the screen recording. Oh. Can't lie, I'm not finding that very inspiring. But I'll go and have a look and see what on earth could possibly match this colour scheme. So for this one I've chosen 3 fantasy books just because I was going to struggle to find any other genre that I own that fits this kind of colour scheme. So I chose King of Scars because of like the second colour down, the gold colour. This also does have like darker ones running through. Again, I promise these do match better in person. The camera is not picking up the colours properly. But it actually does match quite well in person because of the gold, and then the back is like a lot darker. So I feel like it matches the palette. Guild, again, it has the darker colours, it has the gold. Hey Parks! My hamster's out. My hamster is called Parks, named after Magnolia Park, of course. He is a boy, but he's a hamster, so it's literally irrelevant that he's named after a girl. He doesn't care, nor do I. And he's out having his dinner. Oh, he's so cute. He's a little dwarf hamster, so he's tiny. And he's nearly 2.5 years old. So he's getting old, bless him. But he's still plodding on. He runs quite a lot, to be fair. He is still a very active old man. Oh, you're so cute. Sorry. I also chose these hollow balls because I feel like that second colour down really matches the background colour. So let's do the classic, lay them all out on the floor, put the phone in the middle. Oh, I really don't know. The problem here is that Guild, I think, probably matches the best. But do I want to read that right now? I want to read King of Scars because it's only a duology. So that'd be so quick to get that duology just off my TBR. But that's not the point of this video, is it? To just choose what I want. I'm supposed to choose the one that matches the best. It's not that I don't want to read Guild. This is on my 25 for 25. Like, I'm genuinely so excited to read this. I was just planning to read it later in the year. But we'll put it on the TBR anyway. I'll just switch around. I'll read this now and I'll read Zodiac later in the year. There we go. There's the plan. So my February TBR is here. We've got Guild, Crazy Rich Asians, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Last Seen Online, Out on a Limb, and The Two Towers. Quite a different TBR for me. We've got much more of a range of, not just a range of genres, but a range of like sub-genres that I wouldn't usually read from. So definitely a different TBR for me, but very exciting to get some books that I have been avoiding off my physical TBR. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please do subscribe down below so you don't miss me reading all of these in various vlogs throughout the month of February. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!